Yo, what's up, everyone? It's your boy Wallace Morris,
And I'm Eric the Smoke Moran.
and today we have a special video for you. Spoiler-free video of Black Adam. So, Black Adam, Eric, we know you're a big fan of Black Adam. It came this Friday, October 21st,
That's right.
and today we will be talking about that movie. We'll give you spoilers. We will tell you deep. We'll dive deep in that movie, but also we'll also share with you our very experience of meeting again Dwayne the Rock Johnson. So
And hanging out with some of the cast members for some fun.
exactly,
And
exactly.
also, if I may throw in, Vlad, we're going to throw in a special guest or two. We're hoping to have a second guest as well, but we're definitely going to have a special guest uh, that appeared in the movie. And we're going to talk to him about his experience on the set. And as well as we might have an extra added attraction as another special guest. So,
That would be nice. That would
again,
be really.
we're going to be talking about a lot. This is a deep dive into Black Adam, our full on spoiler talking about the movie. By this time, you guys saw our non spoiler review where we try to keep it as close to the belt and not telling anyone. And with now the weekend is come and gone, we can talk about Black Adam more fully and be able to have some fun. And again, we love you all for this love and support. So, Vlad, take it from here, bro.
So as you may know, Black Adam is a movie that just got released, but that is a project that The Rock had 15 years ago. So now we got the chance to see Black Adam on the big screen and see how we love Black Adam as much as he loved him. So we'll be going and look at Black Adam and also The Rock between all these years. So Eric, tell me a bit more about the Black Adam love that you had for him, because we know that you know Dwayne the Rock Johnson. You've been wrestling for a while. You tell me a bit more about him and how about your love for that character too.
Well, I've been pro wrestler since the late '90s, like I would say mid '90s, going into 2000s, early 2000s. I was wrestling for over 10 years, and throughout that time, in the beginning of my career, I met Dwayne when we both had hair and everything else, and it was really cool. People were tripping how much we looked alike, and it kind of from there we talked about our careers. You know, he gave me some really good sound advice. Fast forward a couple years later, Dwayne starts doing movies. It was almost parallel because I was doing a little bit of movies and short films, and we bumped into each other again at a red carpet event of the movie he was doing, Gridiron Gang. We got a chance to talk, see each other, and then most recently for New York for the day of the premiere of Black Adam in Times Square. I got a chance to catch up with him for the third time,
So
and
how was it? How was it? You know, you met him before, you know him before, but now you just bumped it into him in one of the biggest event of his life and also one of the biggest movie of the year. So how was it seeing him and chatting with him again?
well, it was funny because it was kind of just it happened. It just kind of happened out of the clear blue sky. Call it being manifested. Call it this just it was just a blessing in disguise. Of my friend Hellspawn Cosplay who does Hawkman. We were going to the New York Times Square event in New York for the premiere of Black Adam in New York, and we got to New York kind of early. We're sitting back. We were waiting to go park, and what was so funny about it was that we were parked, not realizing that we were parked right across the street from where Good Morning America is being filmed.
Hmm.
And I went to go stretch my legs. Went to go to the Times Square event where they were setting up, taking pictures. And I said, okay, we have it plotted out. You know where we're gonna, wear our costumes and everything. And as I get back to the vehicle, you might even see some video of it. Hellspawn and I were talking. I, Next thing you know, Hellspawn is like, there goes Dwayne right there. So me being me, I just step out of the vehicle. I said, you know what? I'm going to say what's up to him. I go out. I'm wearing one of my
Like no
Black Adam.
sweat, you just go out of the car you go see him, and then you know what? He's
Well,
gonna
here was
kill
the
him.
funny thing. I was wearing one of my custom Black Adam T-shirts. These are like custom made. Shout out to my boy Kevin Gallier, who made these shirts for me. I had the other version with the hooded on there, and it was funny because when I went over to say what's up to him, Dwayne spotted me right away with the shirt, and then from that point on, I was like, yeah, well, hey, it's all about you, brother. It's all about you today. We're gonna be coming in as Black Adam and Hawkman. And next you know, we shot a promo. He had me on his live, on his DM live. I was basically filming us, and I was shooting a promo for Black Adam and talking about him. And that experience alone, that just kind of like this, from that point on, the rest of the day was like, boom. It was like dominoes in a good way, like just falling in place. And for the both of us, for both myself and Hellspawn, Hellspawn, who knew Eldris Hodge, who plays as Hawkman, he knew him prior. So both of us had our encounter. So, of course, for the event, it goes without saying, it was a major, major, major deal. We'll probably do more of a deep dive on that in a minute. But as far as my experience, seeing Dwayne, Dwayne and I was like, "Oh, what's up, bro?" and everything else. So it was just like,
Yeah,
like,
I've seen your live footage of you and him
yeah,
in Times Square.
yeah,
I think, like for myself, this is something that actually woke me up. I remember that moment that we were chatting a bit about Black Adam events in the movie, and then when you told me that you were going to New York to the event, I never realized that the moment you send me this video, this photo of you and him, that would actually do my whole day. And I actually woke up with you talking to The Rock. So,
Well, you know what? Now,
I,
let's backtrack here. Now, if you recall, a couple of days prior to that, you had told me, because a lot of people don't know, me and Vlad are really good friends. We've known each other for the last couple of years. We followed each other's work. Vlad with his Flash stuff and his love for DC, and my love. We basically really got a chance to know each other back in 2020 when we
yeah,
both appeared in DC Fandom and showcased on DC Fandom in 2 years straight, both with my Black Adam and his Flash. Vlad
back
is
to
a
back.
great dude. So Vlad and I were talking about the whole Black Adam experience. So Vlad was the one who basically came to me first and said, "I'm gonna meet The Rock on the 13th." And so I'm like, dude, I'm so happy for him. And he's like, dude, I'm gonna have a one-on-one with him. I'm like, he said, I'll give you a shout out. I'll let him know that you're gonna be like, and I said, dude, that's on point. And within less than 24 hours after Vlad got the announcement or got the notice that he was appearing and that he was going to be meeting Dwayne, all of a sudden for me,
You
I'm
got
like,
the invite.
hey, yeah, I got the invite for the red carpet event and the private for the screening. So I was like, okay, whatever happens, happens. I'm going to flow with it. As Hellspawn was saying, like, this lets us flow. We got down there, and then everything just kind of, like I said again, I've been an actor. Like I said, I've done this stuff, but it's just the fact that right time, right place, it was just like manifest.
Yeah,
It played
we would
perfectly.
say the man above actually
Yes.
heard us. We could say that he
Yeah, I
heard
mean,
us.
you listen. This is stuff you would see in a movie, and you would not believe it. You're like, oh, that's just in the movies and all. But this actually happened,
It
and it
happened.
was so funny because when it happened, the first person I thought of was you. But what I didn't know was Dwayne had us live. So I had a friend of mine automatically was sending me screenshots of
Hmm.
me and Dwayne, and I was like, holy crap, I'm on this live. I remember sending it to my wife. I remember sending it, and she was ecstatic because she was at work. I remember sending it, because I swear to God, Hellspawn and I wanted to keep it low key. We didn't want anyone to know. We were just gonna let everyone
It
know
went
that
viral. It went
it
viral.
went viral. And it was funny because a couple days before, I was doing a cosplay I debuted, and that went viral. It was a dark side, and it went viral in its own right. And I was sitting back like, okay, we're just gonna go with the flow. I gotta give a major shout out to my suit designers, Flor Neo Designs and the Sylvia FX, because this has been a project, a love letter project for me for the last year, working on this
Oh, your
comic.
suit is amazing. Your
I
suit,
mean,
I think
and
the
shout out to
details.
Milan, my friend Milan, who basically Milan, who basically made the cloak for me. This was a year this was a year in the making. Also doing my training for Black Adam training. So
Hmm.
this was something that, again, it just kind of like, and then we'll get even more into the details of what happened, but again, I just had to give a shout out to those individuals, to the photographers from Serious Photo who took my original Black Adam pictures. Thank you so much, and my wife, of course, Adia Cosplay, who basically took photos. We were doing everything from test shots and everything else.
Oh
The
yeah.
Pole Sisters were giving me the inspiration to just keep it going, keep it focused. Because we were talking about this since last year when I was out in LA, and I was talking to them, and I was like, they were like, "You're going to make this happen. You're going to be a part of it. I can see it happening." But let's talk about you. Let's talk about your experience with
Um,
Dwayne.
so you were in New York and I
Right.
was in Toronto.
Right.
So
And
a
we know
few-
that the next day, after Dwayne was in New York, he was coming to Toronto.
it was going to Toronto. So it was back to back World
Yeah.
Tour Global. So we kept the infos. We kept chatting just to be sure that we don't miss anything about that event. And what's fun is you were driving to New York. You were driving also back to New York, and it was okay. How was it? Is it your? Was it amazing? How's the event? How's the cast? Because we might dig this a little bit later on.
Right.
You met also the cast, but we were like feeding from each other's infos,
And
and
not
then
only now, mind you, for that event, I was on my feet for 7 hours in costume. And we'll
mhm.
get more into that. We were both, and to get into that, I mean, we were coming back, and I remember contacting you when we were coming back from Times Square. This had to be like it was crazy. When I called you, I was burnt out. I was on fumes. I'm like, dude, it was the bomb. I'm telling you, it was the bomb. And
Yeah.
even though we didn't see the movie, because a lot of people ask me, "Oh, what was the movie like?" I'm like,
Well, it
dude,
was crowded, so that's what you told me.
it was. Let me say it like this: this was better than going to. We're going to talk about the movie. How much I love the movie, or how we love the movie, but it was just as good. It was just as good as going to see the movie, because you got a chance. I got a chance to be a part of that. But for you, I want to know more about your experience and your time, because not only is it epic, but I mean, to a point where it's like it's out there. It's out
Yeah.
there. So let's talk about that.
So 2 months, I think maybe 2 months or 1 month ago, we had a Toronto Comic Con Fan Expo Canada, Fan Expo
Okay.
Toronto. So Dwayne announced that he will be promoting Black Adam in Toronto. So we'll be dropping by. So for those who don't know, he has an attachment to Toronto. His father was born in Toronto, so even for me, I didn't know all of the info. So when he dropped that he was coming to Toronto, I was, oh my god, Toronto is like city next to mine. Am I am I able to go? Am I able to get tickets because this is a special screening event? It is
Right.
not something that it's available for just the audience. Just it was selective people around the city of Toronto, Ontario, and all other provinces. So we had to do Instagram, social media, like comments. We have to give our love to the movie, also to Dwayne. So what happened is I actually crashed the social media. I send so much video, TikTok, ride, post, repost, retweet about the event, showing that I'm really interested in getting to the event and meeting The Rock. So one time that we were chatting together and we were saying that I hope you get it. I hope you get this. I got a I got a little message from Warner Brothers Canada that was saying that they really love my energy. and they would love to invite me to the event. So, oh my God, this is like having the world falling on you, and then you don't know what to do. I was screaming out loud. So, oh yeah, you know when you meet someone in Comic Con that you have to make the lineup, and you know he's in the roster for the day. That was totally different. You don't know if you will meet him, but now they said that you will probably meet him, see him, maybe sign something by him. So I'm just excited. I'm crazy, and it's 2 weeks from the event. So still crashing the web. There was social media sending love to my shout out brothers Eric and others about that event and showing how they love the character. So your cosplay was so impressive. So I'm like, okay, you know what, Warner Brothers, look at that, look at that, look at that. Um, let's do a TikTok. Oh, there's a Black Adam figure right here. Let me show it to the social media. Let me put this and gather all the infos. So I was like maintaining the the energy about that movie, and the day happened after New York after the New York event. So Toronto drove 5 hours to Toronto, got in line, wait until 4:30 p.m. 10 in the morning, 4:30 p.m. And when they got us inside, and then we saw the whole setup they did for Black Adam, the scene, the stage, the artwork, it was amazing. I think having you seeing it before me and knowing that now I'm inside and I'll see it in front of me, that was totally
Well,
epic.
here's the thing with yours. You had yours was set up differently than mine.
Yes,
I mean, because we had for the black carpet event, we had the suits, the helmet. We
yes.
had like mainly we had that. We had the suits. We had the props. We
Yeah,
but
all the
you
props.
guys had set props. Remember seeing the set props and everything. I've
Hmm.
seen I've seen some of the other props. Some of the, and I love the electrical, the lightning from. And I was like,
From the
oh man, I
stage,
wish we
yes.
had. Yeah, I wish we had that there in New York. But it's understandable. Like we had the stage, so we were in the heart. We're gonna talk about that in a minute. But you had the big Titantron almost, so you get to see. So, but yours was just as good. I mean, and I like the fact that they changed it up.
We
That
had the
it,
artwork. We had the
right,
artwork. So when we go
right,
into the event, all the artwork were there. We could see some special footage also of the movie. We haven't seen the movie yet, but these were special scenes that people could take some shot of it. And
okay,
after that, like you said, the screen with the lightning bolt, everything was set to be different from New York and all the other global tour event. It was so cozy. It was so, I think, personal that I am. We were over what 1,200 inside,
okay.
so everyone could see him. Everyone could see him, but how close could you see it? So we were with my brother. We were in the front row of the stage, so we had
Right.
a chance to um, take shots, video shots, pictures. But what happened that that day is I'm a fan. I'm, I have so much energy to give to everything about the DC universe, the superhero world universe. So I was cheering so much that um, while they were calling Dwayne for to be on stage, to get on stage, they took me out of the crowd.
Wow.
Brought they I definitely remember that moment because I wasn't sure if I was able to see him or um, I would get another chance because there was some staff member that were getting people from the crowd to win some prizes
Okay.
and have a beautiful memory of that moment by giving them prizes. But I remember that Dwayne is coming on stage and I get pulled out. I don't say that I'm not frustrated or I don't like that. But the moment that I've been waiting so long for hours, you just pull me out. So I'm like, okay, what can I
Right.
say? What can I say? So I go. They bring me backstage
Okay.
next, and then they told me, "Have you met The Rock before?" I'm like, "Oh, no, no, never. That's my first time." And then they say, "Have you been to LA?" I'm, s- I'm like, "No, I've never been to LA." So okay, what is going to happen is we got you with another cosplayer. I think he was cosplaying Black Adam.
Right.
Shout out to Bolton City Jim. Your cosplay is amazing. Um, Glad to see you again. Um, and that time, they said that you're going on stage with him, and Dwayne will shout out one of your name. I'm like, okay, what's going on? I've been pulled out from the crowd to go on stage and meet The Rock. My legs are shaking. I'm getting groggy. I'm trying to reach my brother with his highs, and then yo, The Rock will say my name. I'm also excited because we did it. We were in the front row. We are closer to see The Rock. It made me sign something. So the MC goes and call out Dwayne on the stage, and I'm, oh my god, this is the moment. Filming, trying to get as much footage I can because this is a one lifetime moment.
Right.
So, as you're live with Dwayne, you were so what? You were like close to him, like shoulder
Yeah,
bumping.
like you're basically, like I said, we were like, what's up? Like,
Yeah,
and I'm like, and he was like, boom. He was like, bang, bang, bang. He was like, all right, now you'll see in the promo. I'm like, yo, I'm here with The Rock, and we're here today to talk about the most exciting moment of his life, Black Adam, in New York City, New York, and then he just jumps right in, boom. It was like, bang, bang, bang.
exact.
Right, right,
It was so natural. So
right,
they call him on the stage, and then while doing his thing, the MC started saying, "Okay, so we got two finalists for the big prize that we took randomly in the crowd." I'm like, "Oh shoot, this is the moment I didn't know it was about that price. We'll talk about that later.
right.
But the thing is, I was pulled out to go on stage with The Rock and have a chance to say what's up. So
Right.
as he take the envelope, he's starting to say, "Who's the guy? Where are they? Where are they? Okay, bring them on stage. Bring them on stage, because even one of them win, I want to see them on stage." So this is how the magic started. I go on stage first, and then I got my WWE belt from the last time he was in WrestleMania, the last belt that he actually won. And then he saw it. He saw that energy I had. So, we're brothers. We're brothers. So we do what's up.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, yeah, you
Exactly.
know,
You knew what's up.
exactly. But that what's up was so genuine. I was like,
Yeah, he
yo,
was.
what?
Yeah.
He wasn't scared of giving me a handshake or grabbing me. So all
I mean, that's one
excited.
thing. That's one thing about Dwayne. Dwayne, from my personal experience and um, encountering him in the past, he's
Hmm.
always been down to earth. He's always been humble. Um,
Exact.
that's the one thing about Dwayne. Dwayne, he remembers his upbringing. He remembers, he as big as he is, he's still a grounded cat.
Always.
And I've never seen him like I've never seen him out of pocket with anything. Like, as far as I've ever seen him, he's never, like, you'll hear stuff about people in the circuit and all, but he's one of those few individuals that you don't hear that, well, he's out of pocket with the fans. He's very genuine with the fans. That I can
Exact.
definitely say from
So
my time.
he'll be listening to the fans, to
Right.
friends, and that is something that most actors forget about. You may be famous, but don't forget that you're still you. You're still you're actually here where you are because of us. So he does give back to the
Yes.
community. So this is something that we really loved about him. So meeting him on stage was amazing, incredible. Mostly having him take that shot, um, singing, having that energy when we took the photo together, that was priceless. I could feel that it was. We know we were a big fan of WWE wrestling, and when he had that energy, he brings it on stage like the wrestler he was. So I felt that, and that was the most uh, epic moment. I won't say what happened on stage to now, but I can say that seeing him, shaking his hand, uh, was so genuine, and I didn't feel that he was someone that big. He was just down to earth. We could say something to him, and it was politely correct, saying, "Okay, I'll sign this. Give me
Right.
just a moment. Love your shirt. Love your belt." We could have a conversation without feeling that it's not my place, or oh, he's too big to ask him a question.
Right.
That's the thing I felt. Like he's looking at me, I'm looking at him, and he feels that okay, this is a fan. Okay, he loves what I'm doing. Will cheer for me. So the whole thing was crazy. Just that, and this happened before seeing the first screening of Black Adam. So I dig you when you had him next to you and you pull that video live, and then you have it's actually your buddy. You have your buddy doing a live with you. So I felt like
Well, no. Well, here was the thing. Hellspawn was recording. And it was funny. It was like real time. He was recording me coming out of the vehicle, going across the street, and I want to edit and do something with that, But coming out the car, going to the corner, talking with him on my video, then walking back to the vehicle, getting back in the thing, and he's like, "So what did you think?" And I was like, "What do you mean, man?" I'm like, "I'm on a high. I'm on an adrenaline high." So watching you, as we'll see the footage,
mhm,
watching you with Dwayne on stage and seeing that energy, I think that's what made him like, whoa, like he was like he loved it. Like watching him,
exactly.
he loved that energy. And I mean, it was for the both of us showing that energy and all. We weren't just like, hi, we're just fans. Hi.
That's the
We were like,
thing.
yeah,
That's the thing. I think he's a people champ. He's a pe- he's for he's actually knows he knows how we work. You cannot go into an arena and have people say Rocky. No, you have to scream,
right.
lose
And I
your
mean, for
voice.
me, I mean, for both of us, I like to think that we both had a certain amount of energy that wasn't over the top, but
No,
it was just like it was genuine. Like your fan reaction across the board, just on stage, with everything that led up to what happened with you
hmm
was prevalent. For me, that moment, I was like, boom, like, what's up, everyone? Yo, I'm here with the Rock. And I mean, it was taking me back to when I was shooting promos back in the day.
yes,
So again, and people that know me, that really know me and knew me back then in my wrestling days, they know this is like a moment that was etched in stone. This is a moment because people have always like there are some people that didn't know I knew him prior. Some people were like, "Oh my God, the Smoke and the Rock together again," and that was a moment. And so for me, I think for me that always stands up because it was a perfect moment in time. Next to me
yes.
being next to me having my daughter, next to me getting married. This was a cool moment in time, like
Like
a cool moment in time for me.
we don't want to say that. I know people will be watching that video and they'll say, "Lucky bastard, lucky
Lucky
you."
man, yeah.
But
But
you know,
you have to understand that it's all just like it was just. And again, we didn't plan it out. It just happened. At least
it
for
just
me, I
happened.
didn't plan it. Like it was with the intent of maybe we'll bump into. Maybe I'm bumping into Dwayne. You
Well,
know,
I
I
think
did not expect that.
So you work your way up to this moment. Doesn't matter how you did, but you worked it out because getting that team of prop maker, costume maker to get that costume into New York, well, before you get it, and then you get it to bring it to New York, and then he is seen by him, by the whole cast, and it's actually flawless. This costume is flawless.
I mean, let me just say this: when you have the producers from Seven Buck Productions, Miss Garcia coming over to me,
Mm-hmm.
walking directly over to me, thanking me, and saying how great I look, like she stopped everything just to come over to shake my hand. That to me was like I was really taken back by that. From Pierce Brosnan's reaction to the cast, they really were like, wow, and I can't wait to talk about that more extensively. But it was very, very surreal, very cool. I mean, part of it was like, yeah, this was manifested. Yeah, I worked hard to get to this point. For
Exactly.
both me and Hellspawn, we both put it out there. We put it out there in the atmosphere, and even for you, the same thing. We all put it out there in the atmosphere, um, and it just happened. I mean, it's one of those things.
Let's talk about the movie. This is a spoiler-free
Yep.
video, so let's dig into the movie and let's share our experience when we saw Black Adam for the first time. So, Eric, go first. Let me know how you felt seeing that movie.
All right. So, watching the movie when it first starts off, you hear that music crescends and you hear the Black Adam theme starting off slow. I loved it, like the little quick introduction. They didn't spend too much time about the whole thing with the element, with the internal element. I like how they just got to the point. I love the cameo of the wizard
Oh
from
yeah,
Shazam. I love his cameo because now we are shown that it's all connected.
it's all the same.
Um,
It's the same actor, so it's the same actor,
Same actor.
Juan
Yep.
Anson.
And here's the other thing too. When we talked about this earlier in our, I think in our non-spoiler, um, when we said if it was connected, it's truly connected because if you recall in Shazam, Superman shows up at the end of Shazam. So
But we know this is Zack Snyder's Superman.
Superman, right,
But
right.
the thing is it gonna be the
Oh
same?
yeah, yeah. It is. Everyone knows it's connected. It's going to be connected. You can't. You didn't look. Superman started off through Zack Snyder. We all know
Yes.
that it's all connected with Wonder Woman, the whole nine. She's going to be making an appearance in Shazam. So getting back to Black Adam, and even when they did in the deleted scene, and they mentioned him real briefly when Darla asked, "Well, who's this other chair for?" And they
Hmm.
said, "Oh, well, we don't talk about that." No, I'm glad that they didn't have Dwayne just make a quick cameo in Shazam.
Maybe not. We don't even know yet. We haven't seen the movie's not
Well, no, no, no.
out
I'm
yet.
talking about. I'm talking about the
Shazam.
last Shazam movie.
Oh
The
yes.
last.
Okay. Yes. No.
So he may show up in Fury of the Gods just on the fact because it's his production company, Seven Bucks Productions.
Hmm.
But what I liked about the beginning of it, they acknowledged that it's connected. They did it very subtly. I love the fact that they showed all the different wizards that represented what
All the
his
powers.
version of Shazam,
Hmm.
for Black Adam, for Tef Adam. Let me just say this: when it kind of started off, the kid, I had a love hate relationship with the kid in the movie. He's a good actor, but I had a love hate relationship with him because there were moments I wanted to just shake him and say, "Stay in hiding,
Yes.
stop running out. Why are you telling everyone
Your
Black
mom.
Adam's here?"
Your mom say, "Stay home. Stay hide." But you don't listen. So we know that they want to push him for a reason for maybe the next Black Adam movie. So we had to see him a bit more. But like you said, it's a love hate
Yeah,
relationship
and
with
it's
him.
not that he's a bad actor. It's just that they kind of written they didn't ruin him. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? I wanted to jump out, and that was good because I felt that's how the. I was like, what are you doing? Stay in one
Hmm.
place. You know they're looking for your ass.
I
Uh,
remember that scene when Black Adam get hit hard by Hawkman and also by Doctor Fate, and then you see the kid trying to go help Black Adam, and her mom said, "Where are you going?" "I'm going to help Black Adam." She, "No, stay home,
Get
stay
your
in."
ass at
Come on,
home.
bro.
But there were some cool moments where, I mean, the most epic moment when he first appears, when she says Shazam, and the first the first the first person comes over to him with the
Mhm.
rifle and says, "Let me see your hands." He got the chance to see his hands. He put his hands. He laid his hands on him.
Yeah.
That point on, and they started playing "Painted in Black" by the Rolling Stones, and I started hearing that beat, and I started hearing the lyrics, and I'm like, "Wait a second!" I'm like, "Oh my god!" And then you hear the guitar play.
Hmm.
I'm gonna tell you right now, there were so many epic moments, but that moment set the tone for the rest of
I,
the film.
that was, I think that was one of the only moment. There's another moment that they used uh, classic and I think award-winning songs from other artists.
Yeah,
There was this one and another one from a classic and one of the best Western cowboy movie. I think it was The Bad, the Ugly,
the good, the
the
bad,
Good,
the
the Bad,
ugly.
and the Ugly.
Yeah.
And these two tracks were amazing. The Rolling Stone one and this one, good choice. They were good
Well,
choices.
well, I mean, and even Kanye, I mean, he even had his
Oh
like,
yes, oh you Kanye
yeah,
West,
yeah, yeah,
yes.
when they had played his music when he was going back. But getting back to where Black Adam first appears, and he's wrecking shop. He's killing, unapologetically killing everything in sight,
Hmm.
everyone that's getting in his way. It was it was a work of art. It was
Oh yes,
it was
definitely.
a work of
Um,
art.
the movie was supposed to be R-rated, but I think that uh,
Yes, it was.
even though it wasn't, we had enough of, I would say, raging moment and action moment that we know that Black Adam will
Well,
catch you
to,
and
to,
kill
to
you.
those to those people out there, WB, Son of
Thank
Bucks
you.
Productions, please come out with an extended version or unedited version of Black Adam, because I heard that they
Oh
did
yeah,
film those scenes and they were even more brutal, but they couldn't because they decided to go with
yeah,
PG-13,
because
and they
this,
pushed it. They pushed the PG-13 rating.
yeah, because the scene with Sabat was for me, whoa, way too
Yeah,
much. But that was enough. That was
no, it wasn't.
necessary.
It was. I won't
Not
say
enough,
it
but
was way.
necessary to see how powerful and raging and strong he was. It's not enough. It was necessary to
But
see
I
him.
won't say. I won't say, especially when Black Adam like fucking,
Mm,
excuse my language, but effing ended him.
oh
I
yes,
was
oh
sitting there
yes.
like, yeah. I'm like, okay, in my cosplay, I'm like, I gotta do that scene. I gotta, like, look, Black Adam did not hold back.
No,
The
definitely not.
chemistry between him and Hawkman, I mean, dude, it was like you were waiting. Oh,
That was an epic fight between both
yes,
of them. Um, I think that we deserve more of Hawkman, and
yes,
especially
yes.
as a Thanagarian warrior soldier, I was really happy to see him go head to head against Black Adam. Black Adam is way too strong, but
He
Thanagarian
was going toe to toe with him.
is going toe to toe, and as Thanagarian warrior soldier, he's not afraid. So that was something that I
And
was.
I'm glad, I know you felt this way because I felt this way. I'm glad they didn't kill Hawkman.
Yes.
I mean, not for nothing, not taking away anything from Doctor Fate, but I was so glad they didn't kill Hawk, because it was funny when he said, "Who's gonna die?" He was like, "Wait, is it Adam Smasher? Adam Smasher?"
Oh yeah, I know it's
I
my.
was,
I know it's it.
I was like,
That is.
and there were moments where Hawkman, like the JSA overall, I love their story arc, the chemistry between Hawkman and Doctor Fate, the little light comic relief with Adam Smasher. It was, and then you had Cyclone. Everything, the JSA, it was like two movies in one, which I love. Okay,
Did you love that little? I wouldn't say Easter egg, but that little mention to Tio Moro when Cyclone spoke.
Yes,
I
yes,
loved it. That
yes.
crazy scientist, and then I was like, oh,
But you
this
know
is
what?
Tio Moro.
Now I'm gonna talk about. Let's talk about cameos. I didn't realize that young lady at when they went to go drop Black Adam off at Task Force X Underground.
That was the
That was
lady from Peacemaker.
from Peacemaker, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm looking. I'm like, wait, is that who I think it is? So again, as another connection. Okay, so we know that Shazam, Peacemaker, Suicide Squad, all connected. They're all connected.
Yes.
So when you asked that is it all in the DCEU, that's all connected. Think about that. I mean, hell, even DC Super Pets.
Yes.
You brought up a good point. It's it's
It's
after they
after.
met. So yep. And I saw what you were talking about, but there were so many moments. It was a movie that I can go see a third time without being like, okay, I'm just going to go see it. No, I want to go see it for a third time. I mean, it's
Mhm.
been a long time since I went to a movie where I'm like, yeah, I want to go see it. There's some movies that are good that all I need to see is once and wait for it to come out on Blu-ray. And then there are those movies that I will pay to go to the movie theater
Every
to
time.
see and say, okay, can't wait for it to come on Blu-ray, but
I'll go see it on the big screen.
Yup. I didn't care if we had a whole bunch of people. Like I was in the theater when it was maximally crowded, and then when you had a mild crowd.
Mhm.
In both cases, I had a good time. Let's talk about the elephant in the room, Superman.
Yeah, I was about to say, let's talk about the end credit scene. The moment that I think all the fans were waiting, all the Superman fans were waiting, and also the moment that The Rock was waiting for
Yeah.
for us to see. So
Because he was pushing hard for that.
he was pushing hard,
Because,
and I think
people were complaining about, oh, The Rock, he ain't bringing up at he didn't bring it up at San Diego because they were still in talks.
but
And what
you
he-
cannot bring him to San Diego. That would be giving it too
Well,
already.
no, because there was a rumor that Cavill was going to show up at San Diego Comic Con.
Yeah, I heard that.
I'm glad that they didn't have him show up. I'm glad that they kind of kept it very
Mhm.
neutral. Like Dwayne was very, very like and I said to myself, he's going to have Cavill come to be in the movie. He can't
Mhm.
talk about it, and this is mannerisms, his body language. When Dwayne was being interviewed, I know what it's like when you can't talk about certain things, or you sign an NDA or whatever, that you can't talk about things. There's something I'm doing currently that I want like I can only scratch the surface.
Mhm.
I've seen dailies. I can't show anyone. I can't show you. It's a movie I'm in, and I'm in with some major
And
heavy hitters.
it's a bit like Andrew Garfield not saying that he's in the Spider-Man
Yeah,
No Way Home
exactly.
movie.
So, but we
yeah.
know that something's going to happen.
Yes.
We know. So when he shows up, like I'm gonna tell you right now, that scene was so effing dope. When Amanda Waller's like, you know, when she was like, he was like, when Adam says,
Well,
send them
there-
all. He
well,
was like, send them all.
before sending him all, it's remembering for those who have seen the movie, and this is a spoiler free, so I'm giving
Yeah,
all
we don't
the,
care.
the
Yep.
I don't yes. So when Waller says, "You better stay in Kandak, and if you step aside, we will use force," and then he says, "There is no one on this planet that can hurt me." And then she said, "I can have favor from out this world." And then he said that the phrase, "Bring them." And then
Bring them all. He's like, bring them all.
bring them all. And then he shoot his lightning on the on the little vehicle that Waller was bringing to talk to Black Adam. And then you see that smoke, the smoke. You see that smoke coming, and then that shadow of the Man of Steel. So let's talk a bit about how the Man of Steel is different from the Zack Snyder suit. We saw he has some brighter color,
and a
and
curl.
also and a curl.
Oh,
So, what do you think? What do you think about that version?
oh, I love it. I mean, it's long overdue. I'm a big Henry Cavill fan. Despite what other people, I've gotten into deep conversations, deep discussions, deep disagreements. I am an avid fan of Man of Steel. I'm an avid fan of the whole Snyderverse. Period. So to see Cavill return, to see Cavill in a much brighter, iconic suit, to see them playing the Christopher Reeves score.
It was
To
John Williams, but I think they mixed it up.
Yeah, they
They,
did, but the, everyone knew that it was the John Williams, Christopher Reeve, Superman.
hmm
But the fact that they did that, it's spoken volumes. They're already working on the script. They said that filming may come a lot sooner than everyone will think. Don't be surprised they start filming next year. For
Well, that would be
that,
that would be a good idea. Don't wait too much
while
longer.
while we're hot. I mean, here was the thing. This is the thing about Black Adam from critics, not fans. Critics. There's a difference. You have the audience reviews, and then you have the critics reviews. The
hmm
critics reviews I don't care for too much. For those individuals that just want to get clout by saying something negative, but then I find a lot of the people that normally this kind of like certain movies, they are on board with this movie.
hmm
Is it end game level? No. It's its own thing. Some people were like, well, it reminds me of the '90s in a good way, like the '90s superhero movie in a good way.
I felt that too.
Yeah, but to me, it was just a movie that was entertaining. I couldn't care if it was in the '90s. It doesn't matter what era, because we all go on back and watch movies that we love. Spider-Man,
hmm
Sam Raimi, of course, Mike Keaton's Batman. It wouldn't matter what era. It didn't matter to me. Did they do a good job? Did they deliver? Dwayne, the cast, the crew, the production delivered what they said they were going to do.
Exactly.
Did they change the hierarchy of the DCEU? Hell yes. Did Dwayne go in there? Like, no one's going to dispute that Dwayne did not kill it as Black Adam. He wasn't being The Rock as Black Adam. He was being Black Adam. Like, just straight to the point. He didn't even do the eyebrow in the movie. And some people were pointing that out. Like,
Yeah,
and I'm glad. And
yeah,
I
I'm
mean,
glad too.
as someone who does the eyebrow a lot, yes, I'm glad that he didn't, because I didn't want to hear anyone trying to ridicule it. But you have to understand, no matter what superhero movie comes out, there's always going to be someone that didn't like it, doesn't like it, or they're going to try to criticize it bad.
Or make a how would I say, comparison to
To
other
Marvel,
universe, to
yeah,
Marvel, but this is
and
not
people got
even
to stop
Marvel.
doing that. And now that Marvel is kind of doing this thing, and some people are not happy where the direction is going, I'm happy still with everything that Marvel's doing. I just love the fact that now we're setting the tone. DC is setting the tone,
Well,
letting y'all know what time it is. I could
exactly.
not care less, and being unapologetic about it, I could not care less.
Just giving them
But,
credit that they worked
yeah,
well. A movie,
like now,
but
now, now, if Dwayne can not only bring Cavill back, but if he can bring Fisher back, Ray Fisher, your twin, as I like to call him, if they could bring him back in the capacity where Cyborg gets all the love, because that's one thing everybody agrees. Ray Fisher
did a
come back
great
as
and
well as
amazing as
right,
Cyborg. Yeah.
right. Bring him back. Look, if they can bring back Cavill, bring back Ray Fisher. I think Dwayne can do that. I think with the powers that be, Ray Fisher right now doing theater right now. God bless him. God bless you, Ray. I hope they bring you back. You are an amazing actor. I hope Dwayne finds a way to bring you back in, because if anybody could do it, Dwayne can do it.
Well,
I just think that the production company, Seven Bucks Productions,
they could
delivered.
bring everyone
Delivered.
back. Yeah, they could. They deliver. They could bring everyone back. And I think that if he's really, like he says, listening to the fans, he'll be able to bring not only Ray, Wayne T. Carr, Martian Manhunter. That actor is Oscar winning.
Oh my God.
Bring them back to make that Justice League what it is supposed to be, a
But don't.
justice.
But here's the thing: you don't jam. Like if they write it, okay. So we know that the writing for the movie it had its little moments.
Yes.
And like you said earlier in our spoiler free, I mean our non spoiler, you mentioned the fact that Dwayne's gonna watch this. He's gonna listen to the fans. He's
Yes.
gonna watch what the pros and cons, what
Mhm.
to do and what not to do. So you know when he makes the follow up, it's gonna be a. And you gotta remember when they did the script originally, they had to go back and do reshoots. This
Yeah.
script was dated way back years
Reshoot,
ago. So
and also they took some GSC characters out of the portrait
Yeah.
because it didn't fit.
right, but also you gotta look at it like this too. It was under a different regime. Was Zaslav now taken over and Hamada no longer being a part of it? It's
Mhm.
under a different regime, which again, it's smart. Zaslav made it very clear that the 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 pinnacle of DC lands on Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, the
The,
Trinity.
the Trinity.
Yeah, and so the direction that Hamada was trying to go with, I was not a fan of. I did not care what the direction they were going with. Now, granted, I would have loved to see it Batgirl, but from what I understood, there were a lot of pitfalls with it. I still would
Mhm.
love to see it because, again, just even if they're just coming out with it on
Yeah,
Blu-ray or
on
DVD,
Blu-ray or DVD. Yeah.
I still want to see it. But again, Dwayne bringing that energy, all that work he's put in. I mean, come on. I've said this 1,000 times. The man put the work in.
Mhm.
He went around the world to let the fans know. I guarantee you this movie's going to do number one this weekend. But he let the fans know. He put his love into this movie.
Or his
Love and
sweat, his
soul.
love, everything, love and soul. Yes.
So you could tell people might have their issues, but I really didn't hear anyone saying it was like the most horrible movie ever seen and all. I mean, granted,
But as we know, the film will do good.
yeah,
This weekend, like you said, it'll be number one. It'll do good, and we as fan, we loved it. And
it's gonna
I've
make his
received,
money back too.
yes, exact. And I've received some already comments about the non-spoiler video that people love what we talked about. Even they haven't seen the movie. We give them what they needed to go see the movie. So I'm really excited, positive that movie will make.
But I love the fact that Dwayne. Did you see the video today? Dwayne put out where he went to a theater.
Yes,
Went
I
to a
saw.
theater and just kind of sat back and said, "Hey, everybody, what's going on, y'all? I just want to see what y'all thought of the movie." He
Yes.
surprised everyone. Eldris did that too. He did the same thing. Again, I love that. I love the fact that he really has the pulse of the fans.
Exactly.
I mean, talking about the movie, Pierce Brosnan, Eldris, all of them. No,
Yeah, let's talk about Doctor Fate. Let's talk about
yeah. Let's
Dr.
talk
Fate.
about let's
I
talk
love
about
the GSA, but
Yeah,
the GSA was amazing. But Doctor Fate, the helmet. I can't say I'm not disappointed about Doctor Fate. I'm really, really glad they brought him into the GSA. I might be a little bit disappointed because they never spoke about Naboo. They never actually said the name.
It's too much because you're kind of introducing
Yes.
characters for the first time to the audience that never heard of these. These are deep
Mhm.
dive characters, so you're being introduced for the first time. So you don't want to go too deep. For comic book fans, yeah, we know it's comic book fans, but you don't want to go too deep to a point where people are like, "Huh?" Now,
Well,
granted, they could have mentioned Naboo.
Well, because they give some hints about the NTH metal from Hawkman World.
Yeah, but they did.
Uh,
Cyclone did mention about the helmet, in that they mentioned it was from another planet.
And
so
yeah, another planet. But the
Yeah.
thing is, I think that even if it's we're introducing the GSA, some words are so much powerful into
Right.
the comic book and superhero universe that when you say them, you feel connected. It's like when he said Shazam, If he hadn't said Shazam in the movie, I would have been disappointed. We know his powers from the the gods, and it says Shazam before we change it to Black Adam. Same for Doctor Fate. Same the Nabu is part of his who he is. So maybe like the NTH metal was mentioned for Hawkman. What about Fate? So just giving
Well, I mean, I'm
and
not gonna. Right.
Cyclone. I feel
But they
Cyclone.
didn't mention Red Tornado.
No, but saying Tio Moro as a mad scientist was enough.
Yeah,
Showing
but
the first
again,
Atom Smasher too was
right,
enough.
right.
That's what I
I'm
thought.
not. For me, I'm not gonna. For me, because I knew that they couldn't spend so much time,
Hmm.
so they just gave you a light. And
It's like
also, it's going to make people want to go and say, I want to learn more about Doctor Fate. I want to learn more about Hawkman.
yes,
Even though we've had 4 different variations of Hawkman live action.
that was the best one.
Yeah, Legends of Tomorrow. You had
Arrow,
Arrow. Yep.
Smallville, Arrow.
Yeah. So the fact that even the '70s when they did the the superheroes special,
Special, yeah, they
not
had.
too many people talk about, but I grew up in that era, so I'm going to mention that. But the fact that you have, and here's the cool thing about Hawkman, what people don't realize is that Hawkman is a character that basically, when he dies, he comes back in a different form or a different character or a different person. So, and eventually, you might see Hawkgirl. So, again, I love the fact that they talked about. So that could have been the Hawkman from Legends of Tomorrow that got killed. Could have been the same different Hawkman reincarnated.
Reincarnated because we know Carter Hall is always
so
reincarnated.
I laugh about that because I'm like, yeah, he seems to get more, he seems to get more darker, darker. And I'm like,
yeah.
yep. I'm like, yep. I like that. I'm like, yeah.
Closer to the brothers.
Yeah. So, but no, everybody bought their A game. I love the relationship the chemistry between Pierce and Eldris. The relationship like of Hawkman and Doctor Fate.
And they kind of mentioned that they were together for a while, so
Yeah,
that's
so-
also
so-
something in.
Well, you remember when Henry Winkler appears as like the Dr. Pym of that universe, and I love the fact that he's like, take care of my suit and all this stuff, and I'm like, who does that remind you of? It's like, okay, he's like, take care of my suit. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, but again, you never know. They may come back and say, we're going to touch on JSA, give them their own movie, and we'll do the early years. So you get the key people. You get Dr. Fate, Hawkman. You bring those two back. You bring in.
There's
Jay
a lot.
Garrick.
Jay Garrick does also.
Jerry Garrick.
Well, we have Stargirl, GSA also. That's the thing. We have to separate.
Well, no. This will be my team.
Okay.
So my team, if they were to do a live action JSA movie,
Jay Garrick definitely.
Hawkman, Jay Garrick, Alan Scott, Ted
Alan
Grant,
Scott. Wildcat.
Wildcat,
Green Lantern, Flash,
and Spectre.
Fate. The Spectre wasn't. Yes, he's a JSA member,
he's
but
the very original.
the original first one
Right.
before that
You don't have
was
to worry
Al
about
Jordan.
You don't have to worry about Starman
or Stargirl.
Well, the All Stars or All Spangled Kid.
The Star Spangled Kid.
Kid. Yeah, you don't have to worry about him. But you bring in those key characters. All you need is 5, and of course, Black Canary, the original Black Canary.
Yes.
You bring in those characters to just do a JSA movie. It can be done, and it can be done right.
It'll be done well. Yeah.
You don't need Superman. You don't need Batman. You don't need Wonder Woman. You just bring in those key characters. Because just like if they could do a Blue Beetle movie, which everybody can't wait to see,
that is fine. That would bring something new, like bringing the Titans / Justice League.
Yeah, and I would love to see a Firestorm movie down the road, or even a Static Shock movie. Which again,
Static is coming to be Static. They've spoken about doing a movie, but let's not go too further down.
Yeah.
Away. So
this is all DC, baby.
Yeah, this is all DC. Yes, and yeah, JSA was amazing. Screen time was good. Costume was beautiful. The colors. we know that we look at Aquaman and we know that metal on him is it's kind of a gold, something that we cannot buy to the dollar store. It's something that is out of our world. Doctor Fate, the suit, the blue suit, and the gold shining. Nothing to say. Adam Smasher is a classic suit. Cyclone, I felt that she brought a little something different.
Well, she looked just like the character in the books.
Exact.
Yeah,
So
the
it's
comic,
it's it's not an armor.
the
It's
costume's correct.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, the same Adam Smasher, Doctor Fate. There's always been different variations of Doctor Fate.
Exact.
So you can't go wrong with Doctor Fate. Um, with Hawkman, the same thing. Different variations of Hawkman. The key is the helmet, the wings. What I loved about this
He
movie
he
also,
kept the helmet
thank you.
like the Batman who we saw mostly Batman and not Bruce Wayne. Hawkman was mostly Hawkman and not Carter Hall.
Yeah.
So we
Even though
know
his
that
moment with Carter Hall was epic, but
yes,
I love the fact. And can we? All right, so let's ask this question: Who's got more money, Carter Hall or Bruce Wayne?
um
Because
I-
when you look at that mansion,
the thing is that that's a mansion that looks like I would say mostly like the Queen's mansion or the Lex Luthor mansion. I would still keep Bruce Wayne as the
because you see that
most
in the
money.
state, unless that's the JSA headquarters.
Well, oh yeah, maybe the thing. Oh yeah, you know what? I think because he got reincarnated so many times, he has
Yeah,
a
that
lot
was
of
money.
money. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
maybe
Oh yeah. Well,
one
he
reason.
was a curator, so I mean, But
Yes.
here's the other thing. Okay, now this is I hate to say this, but did you have a moment when you saw when they first introduced Carter Hall and he's in that room and he's looking at the screens? What's the first thing that came to your mind, especially what he was wearing? What was the first thing that came to your mind?
When we saw him on the screen with
When he's
Waller,
when he's watching the screen when Amanda Waller's got his screen and he's in his mansion and he's in the room and they first showed and he's wearing his outfit. What was the first thing that came to mind? Because when I saw it, I was like, yeah, I can see him playing Black Panther. That scene looked like a moment of Wakanda, like he was in Wakanda. I'm looking like, dude, because my wife and I are sitting there. She's like, yo.
I never thought about that because
We'll watch that scene again when they first introduced Carter Hall, and you see him looking at the screen with his arms back, and he's wearing the printed the Kente printed coat, and I mean he was dressed sharp to the nines throughout the movie, and he's looking at the screen, and Waller comes on right before it, and I'm sitting there like, oh crap, he would be a good Black Panther.
he would have been a good Black Panther, good T'Challa replacement.
Yes. Yes.
Well, that's a good thing. We should talk about it in another video. But
No, I just had to bring that up. I mean, I know
that's
look,
a good.
look,
That's
look,
a good
I had
point.
to bring that up because I was getting Black Panther vibes for that moment. I was like, dude,
Next month.
that's
Next
dope.
month.
Yeah, but it's still that was a dope moment. Look,
Yes.
Hawkman killed it for me. He between him and Adam, and I loved. This is the other thing I loved about the movie. It wasn't heavy on politics.
Nope.
It wasn't heavy on anything, but it was straightforward. It was a great integrated movie with all different people, all different backgrounds, but it wasn't any kind of political anything. It was and that's why I said the 90s movies, if someone's saying, well, it reminded me of the 90s, that's a good thing. In a lot of ways,
It
because
is.
you didn't have all that crap going on. Not saying that any of the DC movies were like that. A lot of them were not like that. But you didn't have to have those overtones in it. You just told a story, whether it was 100%.
And then
you
you just watch it and then without thinking about something else. So, JSA, it's a pros. It was beautiful. Honestly, shout out. You met the cast, so that's why I was trying to connect. So you met the cast of the JSA. So you met 007.
Okay, so there's a video. The video when I meet Pierce Brosnan, and he's shaking my hand. Like again, next to him and Daniel Craig are my favorite Bonds, hands down. Pierce Brosnan, when he did GoldenEye, way back in the when I was
We all love the GoldenEye. We all love.
Yeah, like my wife loves Remington Steele and all that, and I grew up
Yes.
on Remington Steele, so I was like,
Remington
oh,
Steele,
he's
yeah.
James Bond. He's James Bond. So when he was cast as Dr. Fate, I'm like, oh my God, perfect fit. When I met him, such a classy, very classy. And I remember shaking my hands with him and just telling him, and I came up to him and I said, thank you for Bond. And he was like, oh man, that means a lot. Again, that to me was an epic moment. It was an epic moment.
We,
It,
we, we, we do love Dwayne. We do love Dwayne the Rock Johnson. But as a fan of James Bond, books, movies, video
yes,
games, you had the chance to shake the hand of one of the most talented actor, but also one of the most recognized James Bond, and it's priceless.
well, he's the second person I met from Die Another Day.
Oh,
Because the first one was Holly Berry, and that's a whole nother story for another time. But yeah, meeting Holly Berry, and that's a whole nother story for another day. But
okay.
but but
But
but
yeah,
with Eldris, and I keep forgive me if I say it wrong, Eldris Hodge, he was cool as hell because again, Hellspawn already knew him. When we were there, me and Hellspawn are right next to each other.
hmm,
Hellspawn with big ass wings and everything else on the black carpet, and people were like taking notes of him. And of course, Eldris comes over to me after talking to the Hellspawn, and I'm like, "Come on, come on!" I said, "Come now. We know who the better hero is."
oh,
He started busting out laughing. He was like I said, cool as hell. Noel was definitely on point. Quintessa didn't get a real chance to like. She passed by, but she was so caught
she
up
was
in doing
caught up in
pictures.
the all.
I didn't
Okay,
get a chance to talk to her or get pictures with her. But everyone else that came through, mostly like that I knew automatically who was in the movie. A lot of the actors I didn't know who was in the movie. I wish I did. Like I wish I saw the movie before, so this way I could have been like, "Oh, I
well,
gotta get a picture with you." I gotta get... But
hmm,
because the kid that played the kid, he's much taller now. He's much bigger.
you
So
mean the kid who played with Young Rock, or the
oh
kid
no
who
no no
I'm on,
yeah yeah. Now
I'm on. Okay,
Yuli who played in Young Rock, he also plays as Black Adam.
the
He's
first Black
also
Adam.
yeah he's also the other Black Adam.
He's
That was
actually the
cool because
first
I
champion.
yeah, and I did not realize when I saw him, I was like, holy shit. Because when he was on the carpet and I met him, I was a fan of Young Rock. So again, me and my wife, big fan. And I followed his career and all. So when I saw him, I said, dog, we gotta get a picture. So he was cool as hell. We doing the Samoan shake and all that stuff. Dog. When I saw him in the movie, I was like, oh, he's playing the son and he's playing as the other black guy. I was like, dope. Though he had no hair. I'm like, okay.